Look at that.
Today's stream will start with Path of Exile 2, where Jonathan will show you our latest announcements.
Okay, this is what we're going to talk about.
A deep dive into the new Path of Exile Necropolis Challenge League, which launches in 1 week. He'll cover the league mechanics, its deep crafting system, large in-game changes, some improvements to the core Path of Exile campaign, and finally some quality of life features. We'll then show you our new supporter packs, and we'll head into a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask us your questions from Twitch chat. After the live stream, we'll drop the full patch notes.
Well, shit.
Hey guys, it's time to chat about PoE 2 again.
Alright.
It's only been a few months since we talked about the Mercenary, and yet even since then, a huge amount has changed. When we announced the Mercenary, we also showed off a lot of the new capabilities that our engine has around animation and character control. Moving while shooting was a huge deal in that class, but there were a lot of other more subtle things going on to make it feel good too. Well, in recent times we've only been showing off new character classes, but one thing I've been really excited about is to go back and apply all the new ideas and capabilities that we have to our old classes too. Today I'd like to show off the Ranger, and I hope that you guys like what you see.
Alright, here we go.
I've lived in this forest all my life.
Ooh.
And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that a ranger must never miss.
She has multiple projectiles.
But it is the cruelty of man I fear.
Damn.
There is no truly escaping the Count's justice.
Your sentence is to be hanged from the neck until dead. Let your souls feed the first one.
Bro, the executioner dude looks fucking badass.
After her.
They should have that skin for like Marauder. Okay, so you can still move whenever you shoot, but you move slower. Is that rain arrows?
This exile has changed me. No more running.
Oh shit, you fight him.
No more fear.
You won't get away this time.
Damn.
I will put an end to this madness.
How they have so many bosses? I want to play this? Yeah. Damn.
Let this be a warning, Gianor. I'm coming for you next.
Oh my god. Damn.
Let the hunt begin.
When we started to work on the Ranger, we knew we had to make a class with high agility. The dream of fast bow gameplay is Legolas, so that's what we wanted to deliver.
I love how they just say it. Like, everybody knows it, they just say it. Yeah.
The starting point is moving while
True,
shooting a bow.
by the way.
Any kind of basic arrow skill can be fired while moving, with a movement penalty.
Yeah.
This immediately gives you a lot more freedom on the battlefield. Here, I'm starting each battle with a poison burst arrow to poison groups of enemies, then using a lightning arrow to arc lightning around larger packs. For even more mobility, we also have a variety of skills that involve vaulting around the battlefield too. This is Frost Escape. Using it jumps backwards and shoots a freezing arrow at the ground.
That's cool.
Really useful if monsters close on you and you need to get away.
Especially being able to roll in and do it and jump back.
It'd be nice to have some way to take advantage of that extra time. This is where Snipe comes in. Snipe is a skill shot that you need to charge up and release at exactly the right time.
It's like Divine Ire.
If you land the right timing, Snipe is guaranteed to produce a critical strike, and does a small AoE as well, so it's a great finisher.
Wait, what?
Guaranteed to produce a critical right time. Snipe is a skill shot that you need to charge up and release at exactly the right time.
Oh, shit.
If you land the right
So it's like a
time,
Monster Hunter Greatsword. Where you let it go the moment that it turns red, yeah.
Sniper's guaranteed to produce a critical strike, and does a small AoE as well, so it's a great finisher.
We're doing Soma too?
You can
Yeah,
also
same thing.
move while shooting arrow rain skills too. This skill is Lightning Rod. It shoots an arrow into the air that sticks into the ground and does a small AoE. Once the rods are in the ground though, they attract any arcs of lightning that are nearby, causing them to explode again.
Oh wow.
This means you can stack up a bunch of lightning rods on the ground
Before a
and bounce
boss
lightning
spawns?
between
Yeah.
them, doing way more damage.
Or becomes active.
Now this takes care of packs pretty well, but for bigger enemies
Move it
I'd
up
like
so
to
you
have
guys can
something
see
that's
more.
going to enhance my damage output too.
How about you guys can see that?
This skill is Stormcaller Arrow. Using it
Okay.
sticks an arrow into an enemy. After a short period of time, a lightning bolt comes from the sky and strikes them. This has a high chance to shock them, and shocked enemies take 30% more damage from all sources. If
Okay.
something big walks along, it's a good idea to throw one of these at them first to enhance your damage before following up with the other combo.
Yeah, I feel like anybody would do that.
Now,
Like
if I
people
really
even
want
use
to
traps
enhance
for
this
that.
combo, there are a couple of things I could do using our support gem system. Skills in Path of Exile are granted by items called skill gems. Each
Look at
skill
that. Multiple projectiles. 2 additional projectiles do less damage. Oh shit.
gem has colored sockets in it, and these sockets are for other items
There it
called
is.
support gems. Support gems modify your skills, and it's where a huge amount of the customization of your character comes from. First, I'm going to take this multiple projectile support gem. I could add it to my lightning arrow, and it would fire multiple arrows. This would increase the number of targets I can hit, but that isn't the effect that I'm after. If I add it to my lightning rod skill instead, then when I fire it, I get a nice group of rods. This means that I don't have to spend as much time setting up before I can use it with my lightning arrow combo.
Okay.
I might also add faster projectiles to make the lightning rods land faster too. Now next up I'm going to grab this chain support gem. Chaining causes many effects to repeat on new targets when you hit them. If I add it to my lightning arrow, it will cause the arcs that come out of lightning arrow to strike even more targets.
See, this is why the game hasn't died, and this is why people keep playing PoE all the time, is because there's so many different variables and things that you can do with the skills and the abilities that there's always something new that you can try. And even whenever it feels even slightly stale, they'll add in new things that will just completely change everything.
Rippling along my line of
Like, you know,
lightning
like those
rods for
gems
huge
they
amounts
added
of
in and
damage.
shit like that. And they did that before with Heist. Like Diversion and Anomalous, that shit.
Now I think we can use support gems to improve Stormcaller Arrow as well. Let's start simple. I'm going to chuck less duration on here. This will cause the lightning from the sky to strike a bit faster. Next up we have a support called Shock Proliferation. This support makes it so that any enemies shocked by the skill will also have the shock jump to nearby enemies, meaning they'll take the extra damage as well. It's just a chance to proc. So
I
it's not
think one thing that's good about this too is that it really does feel different whenever you're playing the game and you get one of these big upgrades. I think that's one thing that like Diablo 3 did pretty well, is that like whenever you got a really big upgrade, you could like feel the upgrade, and in PoE you can do the same thing.
I'm going to proc on every single pack, but when it does, a pack will go down
Yeah, it
ultra
felt
quick.
good.
Another useful empowering skill is Barrage. Barrage is one of the rare cooldown skills in PoE 2. It
Okay.
enhances whatever your next attack is to fire 3 times. With what we have here, I think it might be a good idea to use it with Lightning Arrow. It'll generate 3 times as many lightning explosions. You could also use it at just the right moment with Snipe, or any number of other skills depending on what effect you need more of right now. It's very versatile and can be used in a range of situations.
Okay.
Now, even as mobile as the Ranger is, it's still very useful to slow monsters down, and a Ranger certainly has quite a few tools to do this. If you're prepared to get up close and personal, we have a skill called Electrocuting Rod. First, jump over the enemy and shoot it into them. Once the rod's in place, any lightning damage they take will build up a special electrocute gauge. Once the gauge is full, the monster is totally suppressed, allowing you to kill them easily.
Oh, so it's the same thing as like Stagger Bar, basically. That's cool.
Now, sometimes when you use Electrocuting Rod, the enemy dies before you get a chance to electrocute them.
Right?
I think there's another support gem I could add to my lightning arrow to fix this problem.
Okay.
Neural Overload will make it easier to electrocute enemies. If the skill it's attached to puts them over 50% of their electrocute bar,
It automatically
will
does
trigger
it?
instantly.
Oh, she's getting wrecked. That's a lot of fucking mobs.
Now this skill works really well for suppressing a single large enemy, but I'd like to improve my crowd control ability for groups as well. I'm going to add a support gem called Frozen Nexus to my Frost Escape. This makes an area of chilled ground around frozen enemies. I'll also add Deep Freeze to it as well, which will make the freezes last a bit longer.
Jesus.
Now when I use my Frost Escape on that front enemy, others nearby are slowed down.
See, this is like one thing people need to understand is like there's obviously metas in PoE the same as in any other game, but like the PoE, like there's like 30 or 40 different things that are meta versus like in Diablo where sometimes there's only like 5.
It would also be good if I had a way to slow enemies down when they're farther away from me as well. So this would be a great time to start getting into the ranger's poison and plant-based skill set.
Well, it's dynamic.
Let's have a look at Vine Arrow.
Not good.
This skill fires an arrow into the air that creates a small plant where it lands. The plant sends out tendrils to nearby enemies, slowing them down and poisoning them. But it does have another function too. If the plant gets further poisoned, it transfers that poison to the monsters it's attached to. Normally you would only be able to get one stack of poison on a monster at a time, but you can put as much poison as you want on this plant.
Okay.
You could just use the plant to slow monsters down and not worry about the poison part. But if you want to go all in on poison, this is the way to do it.
Huh.
Now if you do want to focus on poisons more, another useful skill is Poison Bloom Arrow. This skill creates these plant pustules on the ground. If you wait a little while, they'll explode. Just like any other plant skill, these plants respond well to poison. Shoot the Poison Burst arrow at enemies nearby and watch your plants grow more and more powerful. Poisoning the pustules causes them to do much more damage and makes them explode much faster.
I'm really curious to see what the Necromancer is going to be like. Like, that's what I really want to find out. Like, I wonder if that's going to be any good in this or not. I bet it will be.
I can also add the Pierce support to Poison Burst arrow. Doing this will mean I get multiple poison bursts as it goes through each monster.
So that's good for like AoE. Jesus. Gas arrow?
We also have another skill to make a nice environment for your plants to grow.
Okay.
Gas Cloud Arrow. This skill shoots the ground and creates a cloud of gas that continuously poisons things inside it. Throw your plants down, then put a gas cloud on top. The constant poisoning will make them grow.
That would be crazy for like bosses like I guess like the Maven Brain, because it doesn't move.
Another poison-related skill we have on the Ranger is called Plague Bearer.
Like
this
Cortex
is a reservation skill, meaning it uses Spirit. When I enable it, I get this counter that counts up whenever I apply poison to a monster.
Yeah.
You can see the counter on the skill increasing as each new monster is poisoned. Now I'm going to fight these monsters and make sure to poison them as much as I can to build up the counter.
Okay. Yeah, it's like up here. It's like 46%.
It does take quite a while to get the counter up to 100%, but it's worth it. Whenever I choose, I can unleash the poison in a big explosion around my character, dealing a large amount of damage.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just like random.
Now next up we have a classic, Rain of Arrows. It's simple. Shoot a bunch of arrows in the sky, and they rain down for a short time.
I played this like
decent
a
AoE
couple months
and
ago.
damage at long range. Now this skill doesn't last too long, but we can change that. It's time to introduce Frenzy Charges.
Okay.
Frenzy Charges are used for a variety of skills on the Ranger, but with Rain of Arrows they can be used to extend the duration. How do we get some though? Here we have a skill called Sniper's Mark. Put it on an enemy and it will grant you a Frenzy Charge when you crit them. Now remember that Snipe skill from earlier? That skill guarantees a critical hit. So first we Sniper's Marked an enemy, then we sniped them. And after that, the next Rain of Arrows will last a really, really long time. We still have some weaknesses though. While Rain of Arrows hits enemies with a ton of arrows, each one doesn't do much damage individually. It would be nice if we had a way to break the armor on enemies so that Rain of Arrows dealt more damage.
Or have it put a dot
we
on
have
them,
this
yeah.
Corrode Armor support gem, and we can put it on our Gas Cloud arrow. Corrode Armor causes poison to erode the armor on targets until it's all gone.
I think like one thing that a lot of people, like one thing that makes this good is that you see how like the different spells are built to go together and like they compound into something that's like really cool. Like that's what makes like build discovery and making builds in this game so fun, is that you have like all of these crazy synergies that you can create. And I think with a game that's as complex as PoE, you have these instances where like somebody that has like 1,000 hours of information, like it's played the game for 1,000 hours, they have a disadvantage over somebody who's played 2,000 hours. And it is that kind of game. Where it's like, oh yeah, there's this one item that you can get if you have like a, you know, the bestiary, or there's a different like synthesis, like implicit mod that can be put on there, and then there's a fracture. Like it's all kinds of like crazy things that you can do. And I think PoE is going to try to keep the good parts of that and keep the bad, and try to like move away from the bad parts. That's what it seems like they're trying to do with like the way that they're doing, for example, skill gems in this circumstance. PoE 1 too complex. I know, but like the reason why PoE 1 is extremely complex and it can be problematic for people to get into is that making mistakes is extremely expensive. I think that PoE would be better if it punished you for making mistakes less, but it allowed you to still make a lot of mistakes. And I think that's what PoE 2 is doing.
This will significantly increase the damage that Rain of Arrows does against armored targets. Oh yeah, and one more thing about gas clouds. They can be detonated with explosions. I have an explosive arrow here. Let's check it out.
That was fucking cool.
Explosive arrow here. Let's check it out.
Wow. I'm going to be honest. That was the coolest thing so far. That was awesome. That looked like PoE 2,
now,
yeah.
Because monsters and gas clouds are likely to have their armor broken, I think there's another useful combo we can do. This is an exploit weakness support. This support provides extra bonus damage to targets that have their armor broken. Perfect for what we have going on here. So, those are just some of the skills we have on the Ranger class in Path of Exile 2. Now that we've seen all these skills, let's see how well they do against a much tougher enemy.
Okay, here we go.
The boss of the temples, Thanos.
All right. Looks like a big AoE. Oh, he's like stunned. I feel like I've seen more bosses in the PoE showcases, the PoE 2 showcases, than are bosses that if you combined Diablo 4 and Diablo 3 together. Like, there's a lot. It's crazy. To be honest, it looks like this build kind of sucks for this boss, too. So there's like actual different phases and shit for it, too? What the fuck? Oh my god. Just in gray weapons? Yeah. And you also want to know what's really cool about this is like the guy who's playing knows how to play the game. Like that's crazy to me. That like yeah, the developer knows how to play the game. Like because you know you see there are other instances where it's not really going to happen. Why are we pretending that people can make their own builds in PoE? Well, no, like that's the thing, right? Is like build discovery. Like everybody. So like this is what happens in PoE, right? Is like for me. I make my own, I follow a build guide, and then I diverge a little bit, and it's like, oh wow, this is really cool, I'm going to use this, and then that's the cool element to it. That's what I do. So it's not like I'm following everything one-to-one, but also, like, again, I think that people would follow way less build guides, and they wouldn't do that at all, hardly, if they were able to, like, unspec into things if they made a mistake or something isn't working out. So, like, that's what I was saying before, is that, like, PoE punishes you for making bad decisions, but the result of that is that people don't make decisions. They let somebody else make the decisions for them, which is that's a game design problem. And, like, the game is designed in that way, and it promotes that behavior. So how do you fix that? Well, you make it to where it's not as punishing, but people can still have ownership over the success they have. That way, people can make their own build, and they can do it their own way. The same as, like, Dark Souls, right? It's like everybody says you shouldn't follow a build for Dark Souls. You should play it through yourself. Why is that? Because it's less punishing. So it's pretty simple, right? Logic. You know, the more punishing something is, the harder that somebody will try to not get punished. Jesus, that did a lot of damage. Maybe this build is good for this guy. Are we good? This is a weird mini F, yeah. There it is. Jesus. Look how close he's getting. He did hit that one, see? Because his character intersected with it. He's right next to it. Yep.
Kill swiftly and move on. This is how you survive.
That's the Ranger. But oh yeah, there was one more thing.
What's this?
The mount. Check this out.
What?
Yes, you can ride a rower. While riding the rower, you can shoot arrows with no movement penalty. It's pretty overpowered. You can also use your vaulting skills to jump right off the rower's back. Once the rower doesn't have a rider, it starts attacking monsters, so he's nice to go around, even if you're not riding him. That said, if you are
There's
riding,
a mount?
don't get hit. If you take a heavy stun while on a rower, you'll fall off, and it takes a while to get up, so be careful.
That makes sense.
So that's
Holy shit, man. Oh, it's like, by the way, yeah, we have mounts.
what we wanted to show you today. Now, there is just one more rather unfortunate bit of news. Path of Exile 2's beta is going to be delayed.
And you can see clearly, like, where did that philosophy come from? That came from Elden Ring. That's the way that Elden Ring mounts work.
We previously said that we would get the beta out on June 7th. And while I think we would be able to get the game's content ready in time, we underestimated how long it would take to get gameplay polished to a standard that we're happy with. We're still going to be doing alpha testing in June, but we're going to be delaying the beta until later in the year.
Okay.
I don't have an exact date for you today, but it should be towards the end of the year. In the meantime, you can still play Path of Exile 1, of course. Now, speaking of PoE 1, we also have the 324 expansion to announce.
So, I'll tell you this, right? I mean, I don't give a fuck. If it's not ready, it's not ready. Like, that's fine. Like, just release it when it's ready. If it's not, then who cares? Like, it's not like, oh my god, it takes 6 more months. Oh, like, I'm still gonna want to play it in 6 months after that. So yeah, PoE 1 cooked. Yeah, it took a long time for PoE 1 to cook. Absolutely. Does this mean PoE 2 is a Souls-like? It's not really a Souls-like. It's just an action RPG, much more than a like kind of like loot AoE fest. I think that's it. Look at the supporter packs. The detail is insane. Where are the supporter packs? End-game changes. Improvements core campaign. Yeah, I'll look at the new supporter packs. But yeah, this is nuts, man. Like, honestly, I love how they didn't even show the coolest thing, which was the mount. Like, I want, like, that dude, I'm probably going to play that. That's awesome. I wonder how many mounts they have in the game. That is crazy. Buy them, they're insane. Let me see.
Each tier contains the full pack's face value and points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. These packs are only available for the duration of the Necropolis League, and will leave the store forever when it ends. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic, and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Solar series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Cosmos weapon effect adorns your weapon with stars.
Does it work on any
Hitting
weapon?
enemies causes cosmic energy to spill out into the area around them. The Radiant Orb of Chance extra effect projects the outcome of items you've used an Orb of Chance on above your head. Remember to congratulate other exiles in town if you see them chance a powerful unique item.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
Shine boldly with the Solar Knight armor set. The power of the sun radiates from your body, getting more and more intense as you use skills.
Whoa, so
and
they
emitting
just
solar
basically
flares as you run.
They just made a Righteous Fire set. This is the Righteous Fire set right here. Look at that.
With the Supernova level up extra effect, the dead will be raised from the ground around you, before being obliterated and turned to ash by an epic supernova whenever you level up. This one is my personal favorite. The Cosmic Turtle Hideout lets you travel the infinite expanse of the cosmos atop the back of a colossal turtle.
What?
Carry the weight of the sun.
Wait, what?
The
Holy, I didn't even notice the I was looking at this. Oh my god.
Cosmic Turtle Hideout lets you travel the infinite expanse of the cosmos.
It's just like the real world.
The back of a colossal turtle.
It's just like Earth,
Carry
guys.
the weight of the sun on your back with the Solar Guardian back attachment. Witness it grow larger and larger as the energy of slain enemies is funneled into it. When it reaches its maximum size, it goes supernova and turns into a black hole, forever drifting throughout Rayclast. The Eldritch Pack series also has 6...
Can you imagine how many of those fucking... I wonder if you could crash the game if you had a fully juiced 5-way with Headhunter and you were mob capping and you stood there with that back attachment, if you could crash the game with the black holes. There's a limit for sure. Headhunter nerfed? Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay, well, either way, you know, I think 5-ways are probably the highest mob density.
Exclusive
in like a static area.
Are you wondering if we moved the stash in the latest patch? Don't be fooled, because with the Mimic Stash Pet, players can transform into an image of a stash when in a town or hideout, and scare unsuspecting exiles.
That's cool.
This pet follows behind you with its terrifying hand-walking the rest of the time.
What the fuck?
The Shaper's Slam finisher effect sends slain unique enemies into a
final abyss of unending darkness.
Ooh.
The Eldritch Hunger armor set contains a beast that demands you to feed it by embracing your bloodlust. Watch it grow in power the more you kill until it bursts from the shell of the helmet. Are you able to satiate its hunger? The seed within the Corrupted Growth map device.
This is the coolest one. This is cool.
Expands its grasp on your hideout. The
This
more
is
maps
some
you
fucking
complete on your
StarCraft
atlas.
2 shit. Look at this.
Equipping the Headhunter character effect causes skulls of slain rare enemies to whirl around you like trophies.
Oh my god.
They become enraged when you are near a rare enemy you are yet to kill, wishing for them to join your collection.
That's awesome.
Witness a reality where the struggle didn't exist. allowing the Eldritch Horrors to settle their own conflicts with the Eldritch Horror Apparition effect. Which of the Eater of Worlds or Searing Exarch do you think will win? These packs are now available for purchase on both PC and console,
God.
and will remain
Bro, this shit is cool.
so during Path of Exile Necropolis.
Holy.
Meanwhile, the Shade and Disciple packs leave the store forever at the launch of Necropolis League. So now's your last chance to purchase them. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
Damn. Detail reveal of the League is insane. Yeah, I'll probably look at it off stream and, look into it. I think this is crazy. Like, I do.
Modify your skills.
Like, obviously it's disappointing that the game isn't ready, but, like, at least this is the way I feel about it. Like, I don't really give a shit if it's not ready. Like, it's ready when it's ready, and if it takes longer, like, think about how long we waited for Elden Ring. I remember in the classic WoW beta, I was looking at stuff for Elden Ring. Like, it took years. Whenever it comes out, it comes out. That's my perspective. This is fucking awesome. I'll link you guys the video if you haven't seen it already. They can take their time. Johnson has standards to uphold. Yeah, exactly, because people are going to have really strong opinions about it one way or another, you know? I hope they delayed it because they realized they wanted to change some things after Last Epoch released. I bet they probably did. You know, especially, like, it's not even changing things because of Last Epoch. It's, like, changing things based off of how people reacted to it. You know, like, that's how I see it. One reason for the delay was the WASD movement. Yeah, I mean, that's not really a surprise at all. They removed Uber Keystones. Wait, so you're telling me that they removed the Uber character Keystones? It's a great idea. That's smart. Yeah. I'm glad they did that.